Okay, so if you work for yourself, you know the deal, right? It's all about the hustle, the grind, and then you repeat it. But what if that endless hustle isn't actually the path to success? What if it's the very thing holding you back? Today, we're going to break down a whole new operating system for the self-employed, one that swaps that burnout for real focus and all that frantic energy for actual sustainable growth. Let's dive in.
Man, this one hits hard because I think so many of us have been there. This comes from a story about a 19-year-old just starting out in real estate. He was borrowing gas money from his parents and was enrolled in this absolutely brutal sales program. The assignment was called Days of Pain, and the rule was simple. You start looking for new business in the morning, and you literally cannot stop until you have a signed appointment. No appointment, the day doesn't even count. And after 9 straight hours of just soul-crushing prospecting with nothing to show for it, well, that's what led to the tears.
Maybe for you, it wasn't a sales program. Maybe it was just staring at a list of unpaid invoices, or an inbox that's just dead silent. Or maybe it's just that feeling that you're putting in 100 hours a week just to tread water. That feeling of hitting a wall, of wondering, am I even cut out for this? It's a totally universal part of the journey.
All right, so let's diagnose this problem. Why do so many of us end up in that moment of, desperation? Well, it usually boils down to a few common traps that just absolutely drain our energy, our confidence, and, our bank accounts.
The dreaded follow-up loop from hell. You know this one. You leave a meeting feeling incredible, they said all the right things, and then crickets. Your confident phone call turns into a weak little, just checking in email. Seriously, nothing kills your spirit faster than a pipeline that's full of almost clients. This whole thing is a confidence game, and this loop, it's pretty much designed to make you lose.
So, how do we cope with all that anxiety? We put on a show. We project what this slide calls busy energy. We tell everyone how swamped we are, how we've got no time, but really, it's just a shield. It's a smokescreen. It sends a message to the world that says, hey, I can't handle anything else, so please don't bring me any new opportunities. But available energy, that's the complete opposite. It's that calm focus of someone who actually has their priorities in order. And that is what attracts new business. Okay, so if the struggle is being trapped in these loops and projecting all the wrong energy, what's the fix? Well, it starts with a really radical simplification of your job description. We need to get crystal clear on what your one true job actually is. And here it is. This is the core mindset shift you need to make. Doing the actual client work, the thing you're an expert at, that is not your job. It's the reward you get for doing your job well. Your real #1 job, the thing that keeps the lights on and the business growing, is finding new, repeat, and referral business. Everything else, and I mean everything, flows from that. So what's the good benchmark? Well, in some big corporate advertising firms, every single salesperson is required to spend 20% of their time on new business development. On a normal 40-hour week, that's 8 hours. A full day every single week dedicated only to pitching new clients. Now be honest with yourself. When was the last time you spent a full day just on that? Look, a full day might feel like way too much right now, so here's the starting point. The Power Hour. It's not just an item on your to-do list, it is a non-negotiable appointment in your calendar. For 60 minutes, you are focused and you are uninterruptible. No email, no social media, just dedicated outreach. At first, the habit and the momentum are way more important than the results. And here's a little secret. Almost none of your competitors are doing that.
So, we have the strategy, the power hour, but knowing what to do and actually doing it, well, they're two very different things. The biggest obstacle isn't your calendar, it's your own mind. So let's talk about how to win that inner game.
This right here is the key to breaking that cycle of fear. See, confidence isn't something you just wait around for. It's something you build through action. Every single prospecting call you make, every outreach email you send, that's a rep. You're building your closing muscle. You have to do your way into feeling confident enough to keep on doing it. Okay, so what happens when that anxiety hits right before your power hour? What do? Use this reset. First, interrupt that thought loop with physical movement. Stand up, do some squats, go for a quick walk. Your physiology interrupts your psychology. Second, redirect that energy. Instead of worrying about yourself, focus on helping someone else. Send a valuable tip to a past client. Service is the fastest way out of that scarcity mindset. And finally, create an if-then plan. Something like, if I start worrying, then I will take a 10-minute walk and make 5 prospecting calls. It replaces all that ambiguity with a clear, simple directive. Now, once you get your inner game dialed in, you need to support it with some external systems. I mean, a strong mindset needs a solid structure to operate in. This is all about creating the professional standards that protect your focus and your time.
This quote, it really represents a huge mindset shift. Yeah, technology like DocuSign is convenient, but it's not always the tool for a professional. When it's time for a big decision, a true pro leads. You create a safe space, a conference room, even if it's virtual, where you can look a client in the eye, address their fears, and guide them to a decision. You don't just abandon them at the finish line.
To avoid those soul-crushing follow-up loops, you need standards. Standards like these 5 non-negotiables. Think of them as your filter. Things like making sure all the decision makers are there, and that you've already confirmed they actually intend to invest. This stuff ensures you're only spending your valuable time in high-quality meetings where decision is actually possible. I mean, think about it. Worse than no appointments is a calendar full of appointments that go nowhere. These standards are your quality control.
And please remember, all this structure, the power hour, the appointment standards, it's all meant to serve you, not to constrain you. Your routine's only job is to create momentum and energy for your day. So if that 5 a.m. workout is suddenly draining you instead of energizing you, change it. The structure is a tool to build a better business and a better life, not a cage.
So this brings us to the final and maybe the most important piece of this whole new operating system. It's a mindset shift that reframes the entire challenge of being self-employed. It's all about making a conscious, deliberate choice.
There's just no escaping discomfort. It's not possible. Just like your muscles have to tear a little bit to grow stronger after a workout, your business and your mindset have to be stretched to grow. Pain is simply the price of admission for ambition. So you don't get to choose if you pay, you only get to choose how you pay.
And this slide, it frames that choice perfectly. I want you to imagine you're at the Life and Business Cafe. The menu has 2 items, success and failure. The first thing you notice is that the price for both is exactly the same, pain. But the descriptions, they're very different. The pain of success is the pain of discipline, daily discomfort, the risk of rejection, some criticism, a whole lot of uncertainty. The pain of failure? Well, that's the pain of regret, staying in your comfort zone, beating yourself up, and just watching your bank account and your health slowly dwindle.
You have to order one. There are no other items on the menu. The cost is identical. One pain is proactive. It's a short-term investment for a long-term reward. The other is a slow, corrosive pain that just compounds over time. The choice is yours. Which one will you order?